Yes? Okay, great. Good morning.
Morning.
And welcome to the Galena Territory Association's 2024 Candidate Forum. I'm Mary Ann Bogacki. I am a member of the Galena Territory Board of Directors. And I'm the chairperson of the nominating committee. My fellow committee members are Rich Moss, sitting in the back there, Greg Moran, and Holly Werner, who couldn't be here today. We are supported by staff member Susan Miller. The mission of the nominating committee is to recruit and to encourage individuals to step up and serve on the Galena Territory Board of Directors. We are also charged with developing thought-provoking questions to be answered by prospective candidates. This year, the committee began publishing articles in the Territory Times to solicit candidates. Those articles ran in the months preceding the October 31st deadline for declaring candidacy. In addition, we held an informational meeting for candidates in September. The meeting provided an in-depth look at the Galena Territory, its workings, and the functions of the Board of Directors. Several board members also attended this meeting and gave their insights into being a board member. They also answered questions from potential candidates. The committee then met and drafted the questions you see answered by the candidates in the Territory Times. In addition, we solicited a change this year. We solicited questions from members to be answered by the candidates this morning. Your 2024 board candidates are Colleen Dugan, Gregory Ropeter, Chris Siegel, and Frank Vapatuk. Chris Siegel was unable to attend in person and has recorded his remarks. The candidates will each make a 5-minute opening statement. They will come to the podium in alphabetical order. We have timekeepers in the back that will let them know how they are doing time-wise and when they need to be finished. Our first candidate, Colleen Dugan. Colleen?
Hi, everybody. I'm not going to speak super loud because I have a very high-pitched voice and I'm not going to scare all of you out of here. Can you hear me though? Yeah, okay. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank you for being here on this wonderful misty day. Wish it was better weather. Without reiterating my entire bio in the Territory Times, I will give you a brief introduction. I am Colleen Dugan. My husband and I, Mike, bought our home 2 years ago here. Although we are not permanent residents yet, I spend most of my time here. I absolutely enjoy being here and being with the community rather than Chicago. I enjoy it so much. That's why I'm running for the GTA board. I'm planning on making my permanent home here in the future whenever my husband can retire. My previous job was on the Chicago Police Department. I cannot perform my duties after 30 years of service, so now I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to serve you and serve this community. I will focus on enhancing the quality of life through efficient management while preserving property and property values. There are many rules and covenants that I will be attentive to maintain this wonderful community. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I do support initiatives, capital improvements that will benefit this community as a whole. I'm also looking forward to meeting members of different boards in the territory and our security members because public safety is very important to me. I have not served on an HOA board, though I have worked on several advisory committees as a member for my employer and fundraising events. My contributions were to research and provide knowledge to help identify assets that can help analyze and increase confidence in making the proper decisions. I'm just thanking all of you for those who have emailed me with questions. I do appreciate it. I do like to get emails and hear from the people of the community. I would like, I enjoy working so far and meeting the newer candidates. And I'd like to thank my in-laws who actually brought us here. They bought a home here and they are part-time residents, but they also are renters. They bought a condo to rent. That's my mother-in-law, Barbara. And my sister-in-law has also purchased a home here. We are very proud and very happy to be in this community, and I thank you all. And like I said, please send emails. I'm very supportive of that. I'm very supportive of listening to you. You have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. And our next candidate is Gregory Rowe.
So I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way with pen and paper. Gregory Ropeter, 8 North Ridge Lane. If you'd have asked me a year ago if I would stand up here and do this, I would have said absolutely not. I wouldn't run again. But I'm really proud of what the board has accomplished in the last year. I think the first year that I was on the board, it was learning. I started to ask a lot of questions towards the end of the first year. Some of them were well receptive, but eventually answers started coming when I had questions. I'm a financial person. I love financials. I love watching out the money of the territory. In the second year, questions were kind of discouraged. So this last year, thankfully, Mike's not here, Mike Ducharme. He really set a tone for transparency and questions being able to be answered of staff. And we made a lot of progress. I really just want to go over some of the things that we accomplished in this last year, some of it from the budget and finance. I'm the current treasurer. We revised the credit card policy, lowering limits and encouraging terms with suppliers so that we have better accountability and we don't have credit cards out there that have to be accounted for. We suggested opening an account with Amazon Prime Business to avoid using personal and company credit cards, which was completed by the staff, and we appreciate that. We revised the purchasing policy to be more reflective of what a company policy should be in order to create more supplier competition. And I think we're making progress. I think there's still some more that can be made. We renegotiated our investments. A big shout out to Mike Ducharme also, who went to the bank and met with them. We now get over 5% interest on all of our money in the bank, which is amounting to tens of thousands of dollars. That reduces our assessment. The next thing that we did starting out of the budget and finance is we instructed staff to analyze leasing vehicles instead of buying, which will create an ongoing younger fleet and much more labor efficiency. This was completed and is expected to save thousands of dollars. In addition to the money, the hassle that Steve and the staff have to go through to try to find vehicles every year takes a tremendous amount of time, and that's taken off the plate now. So he can do what he's being paid to do. The next thing that I like that we created a full-time equivalent report for labor. In the past, we have a budget for labor for the entire staff, but we really don't know if we don't have all the, if we budget for 47 employees and we end up with 43 at the end of the year, we didn't know if that money was falling to the bottom of the line. We now know if it's falling to the bottom line. The next thing that I'm really proud of is we kept the 2024 assessment equivalent to the 2023 assessment. Originally, the first budget that came to us was $1,470. It came down $110 by us looking through and really figuring out what we really needed And we didn't cut anything and we didn't compromise anything, but we got it back down to where it was. And in addition, we put $340,000 into MR&R, which was underfunded. The last thing I'll say is while $1,360 may not seem like a lot, it's really $4.5 million. So 1,360 for some people is not a lot of money. 1,360 for some people is a lot of money. We have to look at it as $4.5 million, and are we using that money to make sure we are spending our money wisely and it's accounted for? I think we've done a really good job in that this last year. And my goal, because of this, because of the last year, is really the reason that I'm running again, because I want to continue what we've been able to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Greg. Our next candidate is going to appear on the screen above. It's Chris Seal.
Hi, territory friendly neighbors. My name is Chris Siegel. My address there at the territory is 19 Bayberry Drive. Sorry I can't be with you in person today, but we had a trip planned to Maui during this time, so I'm making this recording for the candidate forum. I wanted to say that this past year I've had the absolute pleasure of being the social chair for the social advisory group. I feel like I've brought a lot of energy to the social advisory group and building upon the past year's success and having a lot of great activities for us to get together as neighbors and friends. I'd like to bring that same energy as I ask for your vote in being a GTA board of director, and look forward to serving you in that role as a board of director and ask for your vote. And please know that one of the reasons why I'm running is that I want to ensure that the GTA continues to be a great place to live, an affordable place to live for years to come. It's an amazing place that we have in the territory, and I look forward to serving you and representing you as a GTA board of director. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And our next candidate is Frank Babbitt. Fred, sorry.
Hi there. It's a gloomy, cold, and damp day. I still love it out here. Love the properties, love the people, love the events. Just doing things out here that we never and ever dreamed we would be doing. My wife Kathy and I, raise your hand. Good. We're going in our 11th year here. We're from originally together, we lived in a neighborhood 1 block apart, and we raised 2 daughters in Riverside, Illinois, and I just met a teacher from Riverside. Anyway, we found this place purely by accident through our daughter, who happened to have a bachelorette party here. And now in this 11th year, we just love it. Can't tell you much more other than I do serve for the first time on budget and finance, and also on legal bylaws and arbitration. And I've been so impressed by the board members in this past couple of elections, the commission members and their acumen and their experience. It's just like, I'm in awe of it. My personal career, I was a right brain creative designer. Okay. And I did that for the first third of my career. Second third, I was sales and sales management, because that's where the money was. Okay. But my left brain took over and I became an ops guy. I liked financial statements, pivot tables, things that I always thought were boring came natural to me. Okay. And here I am now, always with profit loss responsibility, margin responsibility, people responsibility. My last career position was I started a non-union labor cooperative in the trade show, museum, destination, special events industry. And we had over 460 employees all over the United States. And I like to call it the GTC on steroids. And we paid dividends out each of those years to our 7 investors. And it was a lot of fun to do that. Why Frank Vath Paddock? Okay, well, I've got the experience and have had success in managing everything from designers, which was like herding cats, to managing salespeople, other management people as well. I kind of wish Greg would just kind of do a little dance as he held that sign up. Okay. I don't know. I figure it's time for me to get involved and maybe help the current board folks, because I so like what they're doing. And my primary focus is to maintain your confidence in me. That I like to listen, I like to be open, and I want you to be open. I believe in transparency and communication. There are no secret board meetings anymore, thanks to the last couple boards. I've always taken fiduciary responsibility in everything I've done. Managing other people's money seemed to be something that I was pretty good at. And the last item is I'd like to improve and maintain our quality of life, but at the most appropriate cost. And I'm very happy with the way the current board is going. So I appreciate your consideration. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Now we're going to move into our question and answer part of this program. We solicited questions from the membership. They were emailed to us, and we've got 6 questions from members of the community. And I'm going to read the question. The person who's going to answer this question first will get 3 minutes to answer. The subsequent respondents will get 2 minutes. So the first question is for Colleen. Is going to start with Colleen. How do you stay up to date on current human resources practices, technologies, and the next generation of residents? And there's a second part. How would your understanding of these rapidly changing environments impact the way you would approach your role on the board? The question is in the back too. So
Okay, should I come up there?
yeah, come on. Thank you.
Well, staying up to date with human resource practices and technology and the next generation of residents is very easy for me. I have a daughter who worked in human resources. She does keep me up with everything. I have one who is a current pre-law student who also has several challenges and questions when it comes to me and technology. So I learned very well from that. Other than that, on the police department, everything changed. There was updated technology, updated cameras, updated views, I'm very good at, I'm a very fast learner is all I have to say. And I'm very up to date as we speak now. How do you understand these changes, changing environment impact, and the way you approach your role on the board? Changing environments, it happens everywhere. We have different generations of people, different generations of what they believe in the environment. I love the way this is, and I would love to work to preserve our community the way it is. Updating, like I said, is very important also to keep up with the newer technologies. But as the environment comes, I quite enjoy the way our environment is in this community and all the green space and just the beauty. Thank you.
Thank you, Really?
All right, for the human resources practices technology, the next generation of residents. I'm going to admit I'm not an expert in human resources. I'm a financial guy, so I'm going to lean on the people that understand human resources, other board members that are in human resources. With regards to technology, I think we can make a lot of improvements in technology. I think we've been standing still for a long time. As the treasurer, I come in every Friday and sign checks, and it takes me 45 minutes or an hour. I've spoken to Sarah. She needs a accounts payable software system or some type of technology to make the job faster and electronic. There's so many other technologies with purchase order systems and things that can integrate with what we have now, or hopefully integrate with what we have now, so that we don't become complacent to what we've done for 25 years. The technology's there. Short-term investments lead to long-term savings. That's my answer.
Thank you, Gregory. And Chris Siegel we did ask him his questions and he has taped them for us.
How do you stay up to date on current human resource practices, technology, and the next generation of residents? How would your understanding of these rapidly changing environments impact the way you would approach your role on the board?
Well, I think one of the best opportunities to get to know your friends and neighbors that are out there is to meet them face to face, and to interact with them at every opportunity that you have there. I've enjoyed this past year meeting tons of people at our different social events. And my practice is to continue that and just to be an ear to listen to my neighbors and what they have to say in part of living in the Galena territory. So I also am active on Facebook, and we have a number of active Facebook groups for our territory residents to follow and to keep an ear out in social media, just to learn of the pulse of the community. So those are ways that I would continue to learn about the issues and concerns of my fellow owners, is meeting people face to face, interacting with them, talking with them, and also keeping updated with social media.
Thank you, Chris and Frank.
As to human resources, I go to SHRM website, which is Society of Human Resource Management. Why do I do that? That was one of my trade shows. So from that and a multitude of other trade shows that I've attended in my career, there are certain ones that I just like to keep up what's going on. In terms of technology, it's happening right now with the current board, with what they're looking to implement to monitor employees and performance. The next generation of residents are here. The question is, are they going to be full-timers? Are they going to be part-timers? Are they going to be Airbnb and resort type groups? So you got to know and learn who's coming in to best address what they need. How would you approach your role on the board with these? I like to listen, and I like to get different opinions, diverse opinions, and I don't always agree with them, but it kind of makes sense to hear what everybody says. So I get those from various coffees I attend, from social gatherings that we both attend. And I don't know, I've always had a pretty inquiring mind, so I just always want to know what's next. So thank you.
For question 2, the first answer will be Greg Ropeter. Here's the question. What is your position on charging guests a nominal fee to use the owner's club facilities in order to offset maintenance costs of the facilities?
Well, I think I put my position in the Territory Times on this. I don't believe that we need to start charging guests that come in to use the owners club. After looking at the financials for the last year, we have $4.5 million that can be used to keep the facility going. We just have to spend it wisely and make sure we're looking at it and spending it wisely. I believe that my personal opinion on weekends, when I used to come here as a weekender, I had no idea who was a full-time resident. I have no idea who's a renter. As a full-time resident now, if I go to the pool on the weekends or in the fitness center every day, I don't know who's a renter. I know who the full-time ones are. I don't know who's the part-timers because they're only here a few days, twice a month, once a month, maybe less. So at this point, I'm not in favor of creating fees until we make sure that we know that we're spending all of our money correctly on an annual basis. This year, again, like I said, we put $340,000 into MR&R. The last year, well, MR&R is set for the next 10 years. That's the way we need to look at this at this point. Once we get that down, let's see where we are.
Thank you, Gregory. The next answer will be Christine.
What is your position on charging guests a nominal fee to use the owners club facilities in order to offset maintenance costs of the facilities?
That is a question that I think we need to be very careful at addressing and really evaluate that and learn more information. We already do charge guests and owners a fee. And we collect that fee through annual dues and also daily passes. So there is a means of collecting fees already. And I think if there's an idea of collecting more fees on top of it, it's something that we need to be very careful about and study hard and really learn from our fellow neighbors and owners of why we would collect additional fees on top of that. So it's not something that I'm gonna knee-jerk reaction say yes or no to, but something that we need to study and learn more about to say, what are the comprehensive costs of our amenities and how are those fees collected?
Thank you, Chris. Frank?
I was able to watch the docents who watch the door turn away or tell folks to go to the office to pay for the extra 2, 5, 10 people that they wanted to bring in. And I was impressed because in past years, I watched those same people just blow by the door to the pool, the gym, and the rest of it. So I'm not sure whether we should charge more because in the social groups I go to, the coffees, that rarely comes up. So quite honestly, I don't know that I have an opinion unless it's a majority thing that more people want it. And then I have to look at it with other board members. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Hello again. My position in charging guests. I had received already a few emails in regards to speaking about the elephant in the room. Basically talking about the overcrowdedness of the renters, people not feeling comfortable at the pool. It's like being in the soup. I have seen, like Frank observed, somebody at the door, on the weekends, telling people they have to go to the office and pay their fees. To be respectful, I think a lot of it is to have conversations with different like board members for the other, like the condo units, and see what they believe too, because those are where more of our renters are. Hopefully we can all come to some kind of agreement. Charging fees, I agree with that. I really do. Just because it's so overcrowded that maybe if we did have fees, and I don't know all our financials, figure out a way of just separating some of the members and the pools, and maybe we could figure out some kind of different, situation for that. Thank you.
Okay, question 3. What do you want changed with our present garbage situation? We have seen people who use our dump by pulling up outside and walking their garbage in. Also, construction companies. What are your thoughts and plans to fix this? And the first one is Frank.
This is the topic of the last legal bylaws and arbitration. 3 Thursday coffees ago, a resident, Jim Manti, he plays here outside, said that 20 years ago, he was at a committee that was addressing the same thing. And he wondered if anything was ever going to happen. The current board, I guess, just recently decided to bring in some extra dumpsters, which I always wondered, why haven't we done that in the 10 or 11 years since I was here? So how would I address that? Addressing it for the people who use the garbage service. It doesn't bother me to see a black garbage can. It really doesn't. You know, it bothers me if it would be knocked over, but the ones on my street are never knocked over, and there's only a few. In terms of contractors, you can base it in Ludington, Michigan. There's a service where on the weekends, the retired guys have coffee and donuts provided by the HOA, and they help people and they stare at people and they stop people from abusing it. Okay, we're never going to do that. With the contractors, the best way to do it is to report the license plate, and basically, if security is looking at a camera, verify it, and then try to figure out who the heck it is. But I think it's an issue that we will always have, you know, because we're pretty forgiving, we're pretty open, and that's the best I can say on that. Thanks.
Colleen?
Oh, the dumpster situation. I believe that, I think the current board is working on some kind of, instead of using our cards for people who are not non-residents, that are not permanent residents here, that may be using QR codes that expire. Is that what we're working on a little bit, you guys? And I think that would be an understandable thing. If there are people here and they are using the dumpster because on the weekends, it's rough. I've put my garbage in and there has been a whole fence in there. You know, I don't know how you could keep an eye on the contractors, but I do enjoy that they do add an extra bin, especially over the summer, and I think they're doing a good job with that. As for companies, you know, I throw out my garbage. I don't have a company that picks up my garbage as a resident. But I guess there would be a good thing to look into, prices of maybe different companies that might be able to pick up the trash. And I don't know the aspects of the financials yet because I am not a board member, but that's something that I definitely will be looking at. Thank you.
Gary, do you want to answer this for me? With the garbage situation, I kind of agree with Frank. I'm not sure how we can change it. I think we made some progress this year when we had some issues early in the year when the sites were getting just, they were a mess. And we told staff or requested of staff to put extra dumpsters in there. If you know you're gonna have a busy weekend, bring in the extra dumpsters. We have somebody that works at the Mount Hope facility. Maybe we need to have somebody at the other facility also. I'm not sure. We have the gates there. We talked about putting fences up, electronic fences. I think that would just slow things down. Again, if a construction company, if the guy owns a lot here and he has a card, he can get in. I know in the North Star system, we have looked at, or it is being tabled that we limit the amount of cards that it can actually access the dump areas. But I think this just needs to be something that's still on the table so that we can find a solution that works for everybody, but it's going to be a difficult one. So the board is going to be challenged.
Thank you, Greg, and now Chris Siegel.
What do you want changed with our present garbage situation? We have seen people who use our dump by pulling up outside and walking their garbage in. Also, construction companies. What are your thoughts and plans to fix this?
That's a good and timely question about the garbage. I saw number of our Facebook posts, just a pileup of garbage around the holidays. First, I think that management needs to address it, and when we do have a buildup of garbage, or we anticipate the buildup of garbage, that we schedule additional pickups during those holiday weekends, 3-day weekends, and of course, the big one being Christmas and New Year's. We can't let garbage begin to litter our beautiful territory. In terms of use of the garbage, we have restrictions and rules and policies already in place to limit construction debris, and material that should not be dumped in our locations. We have to enforce what our current rules and policies are before we look at adding additional ones. Because there are some excellent rules and policies in place that need to be enforced. And again, we just need to be mindful of picking up and scheduling those additional pickups to keep our territory clean.
Thank you. This is question 4. What is your vision for the social advisory?
What is your,
And how can you help improve on the social events moving forward? The first is Chrissy.
what is your vision for the social advisory group, and how can you help improve on the social events moving forward?
So improving on the social advisory group, I think we have to be mindful that all owners are a member of the social advisory group. So come out, be engaged, get to know your territory neighbors, build some new friendships, and continue to enjoy the territory as a great place to live and a great place to play. So we are all members of the social advisory group. Let's enjoy where we live and each other's company, because it's a wonderful place to live and we should continue to enjoy it.
Frank?
Hands down, Chris Siegel's done about the best job I've ever seen. Okay. I don't know that I could approve it anymore, other than we continue to go to as many events as we can. The talent's been really good. This is a great place, though sometimes I wish the acoustics would be better for indoor music. So I don't have any issues with the way it's currently run, because it works for us and our use of every social thing we attend. Thanks.
Thank you, Frank. Colleen?
So I agree with Chris and I agree with Frank. We do have wonderful social events right now and encouraging people to come there. They do that a lot with the Territory Times, all the emails. We are very updated when it comes to the social events. I think also looking into maybe speaking with the advisory committee, there are a lot of young teenagers that have moved into the territory as permanent residents and they go to school, but they go to different schools. Some go to one school, some go to another because we are divided of which schools they go to. And I think there would be a nice thing to work with somebody or even work with the advisory committee to bringing in some kind of events for them. So they can meet people and maybe have some kind of mentoring. We have so many retired people with different jobs and different, that could probably bring some light to some of these kids who would probably want to speak with people and then bring them into the territory and have them, they are our future. We want them to socialize. So that's what I kind of want to look at is maybe having some kind of events. Take a survey and see how many people would be willing, teenagers would be willing to want to come to events like that. But as for anything else, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I think we have a really good social person already with Chris. I'm not sure how you can improve on it, but I know this last year when we were doing the budget, because Chris had done such a great job and Mary Ann's also on that committee, they came to the board and asked for more money. The board didn't agree on giving them everything they wanted, but there's been such a good job that the board did give them, I think it may be $10,000. Yeah, we doubled their budget because it's gone so well. So I think from a board standpoint, we're trying to do our best to make sure that it continues to get better. Hopefully Chris is still heavily involved with it next year because it's been really good.
We're getting to the end, close at least. This is question number 5. Tell us about your approach to fiscal management for the GTA. And the first respondent is Colleen.
My approach to the fiscal management of the GTA, like I said, I don't know all our financials. I will have to sit there and learn in a budgeting committee for the next budget. I believe they do a good job for the future. But like I said, I have I have understanding of finances and budgeting, but I would like to sit down in a budgeting meeting, a few, of course, to see how everything is run. I'm gonna be, just like Greg in the beginning, I'm gonna have a million questions the first year. And until I know exactly how our financial situation is and for the upcoming year, I can't personally say that I would know about the fiscal budget right now. But I'm looking forward to learning. I have a lot of questions, but thank you.
Gregory?
Should I just bring my notes from my opening statement? Colleen, if you're elected or anybody else here is elected, I would encourage all of you to ask a lot of questions the first year because it's a learning curve. The first time you look at the financials, if you don't understand them, you got to ask. And I believe now we have a board of directors and a president, and hopefully I hope he remains president again next year, that really believes in transparency, and it's made life so much easier. Everything I said in my opening statement, being treasurer this last year has been very eye-opening. We have a lot more transparency and we know how our money is. We know a great deal of more of how our money is flowing from the receivables all the way out the door and how our assessments are done.
Christie,
Tell us about your approach to fiscal management for the GTA.
So my approach to fiscal management, we have to be mindful of the budget every step of the way. We have to be cost effective. So we have to be continually evaluating our resources, our cost of doing business, and making sure that we are getting amazing service, amazing deliverables for the cost that we're putting out there. And at the end of the day, the revenue is generated from us, the homeowners, and we need to be mindful of that. So if we're not, as a board and the management company is not delivering excellence, we need to figure out why we are not delivering excellence and fix that in the most cost-effective means. So I am all in favor of ensuring that we keep our costs in check and that we continue to deliver excellence in services and deliverables.
thank you, Chris. Okay.
I'm in awe of what Greg does, and I'm in awe of how prepared he is for each of our budget and finance meetings, which I've learned so much from. I like to talk to owners to get different points of view about what's important, what's not. I'm a cost of goods guy. I want to know why something costs what it does, and I want to know where it's appropriated at its best. And with what I've seen, the current board is doing a pretty good job of that. And I would just like to help them do that with my experience with managing labor and the financials that I was responsible for. Thank you.
Okay, so here's our final question. As our community expands, how can you promote the concept of bringing more diversity in thoughts and ideas to the GTA? Gregory?
This is a hard question. I'm a financial guy. I think, we have a beautiful community. I think we need to work with Eagle Ridge. I don't know if this is going to be the exact answer or it goes along with this, but when my wife and I first came out here in 12 years ago or whatever it was, I didn't even know there was a GTA. I went to Eagle Ridge. I didn't even know there was an owners club pool. Came here 3 or 4 times. I don't even think we ever knew there was an owners club. So we came for Eagle Ridge. They had the golf courses, and I think we need to, work with them because if there was no Eagle Ridge and the golf courses, this community would die, in my opinion. Even though it's a beautiful area, we need to work with them. I think we do a good job with it now. And I think we just need to continue to do that. I'm sorry if that doesn't really get to that question, but that's the best I can do.
Christie?
As our community expands, how can you promote the concept of bringing more diversity in thoughts and ideas to the GTA?
We've seen an influx of people moving in, of families, of different family structures moving in. And as a community, I think we embrace it wholeheartedly. It's a beautiful community to be part of. And when we get out and we introduce ourselves and interact with our neighbors, we make friends and we just build a greater sense of community when we do that. So in terms of accepting diversity, I think that the territory is a beautiful place already in accepting all people, and that is a wonderful thing to be part of. And that's actually one of the reasons why I love living in the Galena territory. It's a beautiful, not only a naturally beautiful place, but we have beautiful friends, neighbors in the territory that really make it an exceptional place to live. So we are doing some wonderful things and we need to continue to do that and be respectful of everyone who lives there and of their ideas.
Never had to think about that. I know we have a diversity of opinion. We don't agree on how things should be run. We don't always agree on what amenities we should or shouldn't have. I know folks who just want to live here for the house and property they have, who don't attend anything. So long as we can pretty much do what we want within reason and not infringe on other folks, that's what I would be agreeable to. We have met through the various social functions, so many different people from so many different walks of life that I enjoy going to all of them. And I don't know that I could really add anything to make it better at this time, other than, again, Chris and the social group, and just keep attending those and meeting more neighbors and hopefully getting together with people who don't think the way you do, just to get that other opinion. Thanks.
Thank you. Colleen.
Like Greg said, this is a very hard question to answer. I believe our community is good with the social events and meeting new people. As for bringing in more diversity and thoughts and ideas to the GTA, I guess I would just, I like the way things are. There are social groups. There are people who can come in and join these social groups, and people who bring in their families and use the facilities, which I believe this is a good community the way it is right now, but bringing in more families also. I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy seeing the younger generation here and younger families coming in and meeting some of those people and my neighbors. I live in a great part of the territory where I have met so many great people. So I don't know if I'm really answering that question, but I believe social events can bring in diversity and bring in new people and hopefully some more families. Thank you.
On behalf of the membership of the GTA, I would like to thank the candidates for volunteering to run for the board of directors. I would urge my fellow owners to make their voices heard by voting in the upcoming election. I would also urge you to give careful consideration to the 3 bylaw amendments and remember to vote on those. Thank you to Susan Miller, Brendan Sullivan, and Jason Weigard and his staff for all their help today. They did a great job. Thank you to the nominating committee for your work on the committee this year. It has been a pleasure and an honor to work with you. Thank you all for coming this morning. The candidates will now move to the table, so if you have further questions you would like to ask of them, please feel free. Also remember that you can reach out to them via email. And that concludes our candidate forum for today. Thank you.